Hey, so what's going on? Today I'm basically going to show you an autumn recipe that's going to support the lung and the skin um, for the fall season so that we can maintain adequate amounts of moisture and we can prevent any kind of sore throat or sickness that we might encounter in the fall season. Commonly a lot of flus, and the cold season begins around now. So this is a cool tonic drink that tastes really good, and it's really simple, very minimal ingredients that we can throw together and create a medicinal drink that's going to really support our health in this season, as well as be using seasonal foods. So within Chinese medicine, skin health is usually associated with the lung and the large intestine. So people who have a compromised lung health associated with the metal element in five elemental Chinese medicinal system, in the five element system, are basically going to have emotionally, they're going to harbor old grief very often, and they're going to have unhealthy emotional attachments as well as mucus problems. They might have like a dry cough, sore throat, they might be more asthmatic, they're going to have dry skin, and they're going to have a compromised immune function, because remember that the lungs are responsible for opening and closing the pores. And when we have a compromised immune function, the lung isn't able to do that, so it isn't able to protect us from pathogens which might be entering into our internal body system. So basically, with the autumn season, the ancient Chinese recognized that things generally kind of go inwards and then downwards as a general function of action. So for example, apples fall from trees, and saps from trees generally go down into the roots, as well as we notice that leaves become dry and fall down from the tree. So when we're crafting a medicinal drink for the fall, we really want to keep in mind a few aspects such as moisture, and combining kind of like an herbal decoction or soup using food as medicine that's going to address body and moisture. So the skin in Chinese medicine regulates the water passages, facilitating appropriate circulation of fluid throughout the body. It controls the skin and body hair, and it houses the corporal soul. You may notice that a lot of people who have compromised digestive function or respiratory issues also have poor skin, or just kind of like they may have pimples, they may have really overly dry skin. So there's kind of an imbalance of the body's ability to regulate its natural oils and keep the skin supple and healthy. So some of the things that we're going to add in the drink is going to prevent dry cough, sore throat, dry skin, immunity, boost immunity. And once again, in Chinese five elemental acupuncture, there's this theory of nourishing the mother, which would be the metal or lung element, and the sun. If we want to nourish the sun, it would be the water or kidney element, which is the adrenal function. So basically, very indirectly, we're going to be nourishing the kidney as well, which is that's the next elemental cycle. The next season is going to be winter. We're going to prepare for winter by nourishing the metal element or the lung, and therefore kind of set up for the winter. Alright, so basically what you're going to need for this is you're going to need 4 pears. Asian pears are actually best for this, but for the sake of things being local, I just have 4 Bartlett pears here that I already chopped up. We're going to have 3 carrots that we chopped up, and then we're just going to chop, kind of eyeball it out, but we want generally 3 to 4 slices of ginger. These are kind of thin slices, so we'll just make it 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll make it 4 moderate sized pieces of ginger. We're just going to add that in the beginning. And we're going to add our carrots in. And now we're going to add all 4 pears in, which is just kind of chopped up so that some of that fluid and medicine can get out more easily without having to boil it as long. I'm going to add about 6.5 cups of water to this. And we're going to turn it up on a high heat until it reaches boiling. And then we're going to turn it down to a simmer once it reaches that level. Cool, so we're going to leave this for about 20 minutes, and when we come back we're going to add in a little bit of some local raw honey, which is really rich in enzymes. It's going to help tonify the spleen. Before I head out, I just wanted to touch on some of the medicinal qualities of each ingredient. We know that the pear is traditionally used in Chinese medicine to tonify the Lung Yin, or the feminine or moisture aspect of the human body. So once again, that's associated with counteracting the dryness of the season, but it is also somewhat kind of cold on the digestive system and can sometimes lead to diarrhea if consumed by itself or with somebody who has inadequate digestive power. So just to kind of make sure that that doesn't happen, we're going to balance this like a formula, like an herbal formula. We're going to balance this with carrot and ginger. So the carrot is a neutral temperature and it's somewhat sweet. So it's a chi tonic for the lungs, and it's really, really high in beta carotene, which is basically vitamin A, and it's really, really good for the eye health as well as the lungs. So ginger is a traditional chi tonic, which also supports digestion and the spleen function, as well as helps what we call in Chinese medicine release the exterior, or help the lungs to open up that exterior aspect. So this is something that if you were sick is going to help you open up your pores to let that pathogen move outwards. And if you're not sick, it's just going to help boost immunity, lower inflammation in the body, and kind of balance the cold nature of that pear. So we're basically going to come back and we're going to add the honey in last, because honey is rich in enzymes and mineral rich, and we wouldn't want to kill off any enzymes if we're going to be boiling this for about 20 minutes. Cool, so now that this has basically gone down, or come up to a boil, we're just going to turn it down to a light simmer on low heat, and we're going to leave this for about 20 minutes. About 20 minutes since we had this on, we're just going to turn this off now. We're going to take something like a large strainer, and we're going to strain this medicinal beverage into a Vitamix. This is able to handle high heats, so the plastic is not going to be an issue. But if you don't have a plastic, if you don't have a Vitamix, you can use anything that would be glass related. Any kind of large container will work. So I'm just going to come over here, strain this into the sink. Cool, so now we have our medicinal beverage, and I'm just going to pour this into a container, glass mug. So another addition to this beverage, which would be really, really nice, would be something like gamsao, licorice root. I didn't have any lying around, so I just kept it simple. But this alone by itself is excellent. It's delicious tasting. Before I wrap up, I actually almost forgot to add in the honey. Once again, we're adding this in at the end of the drink, just so that we can kind of preserve some of those natural enzymes which are so prevalent within honey. And I'm going to add about a tablespoon of honey to this. This is really all by taste, so if you prefer more, feel free to just add more. I just want to thank my teacher, Jeremy Pulsiver, for turning me on to this recipe. He's an acupuncturist in New York City, specializing in fertility and a lot of orthopedic sports injuries and whatnot. So he's a cool teacher. He's awesome. He's another guy worth checking out. Hopefully this was helpful to you. And if you like this video, subscribe. There's going to be a lot more videos on this channel this year. I'm really making an effort to put more work out there to basically share more knowledge with people. Alright, thanks a lot. It's been well, and enjoy.